Yo, what is going on, guys? We're back with another SnowRunner mod review, and today we have the F550 Super Duty from Redline Creations. This is the Elevation Off-Grid Edition, so it's not vanilla-ish, and we did it kind of like an overland truck a little bit, just to do it different than the other one, and see how this performs. You know what to do, guys. Drop a like on the video, drop a sub on the channel. Let's jump into it. Alright, time to build and customize up the F550 Elevation Off-Grid Edition. So we did the vanilla-ish yesterday, and today we're doing the off-grid edition. We'll see what differences there are. I'm assuming this is a little bit more performance-tuned and not as stockish vanilla-ish, which is how it exactly sounds. So for engine, we have performance level 0 vanilla spec, performance level 1 stockish, performance level 1 trail rider, performance level 2 trail runner, and performance level 3 redline. Then we got tow and haul level 1 and 2. I'm gonna go with the performance level 2 trail runner. It seems to be the most balanced. It is a 1,200 pound-foot tuned for a fast trailblazing style of driving when paired with the trail runner transmission. For transmissions, we have performance level 0 vanilla, performance level 1 stockish, performance level 1 trail rider, performance level 2 trail runner, performance level 3 redline, and then we got tow and haul level 1, 2, and 3. So we're gonna go with the trail runner performance level 2 edition. If you look at these descriptions, they usually point you to what best matches up to it on the other end. So with the engine, it told us the Trail Runner is good when it's paired. The Trail Runner engine is good when it's paired with the Trail Runner gearbox. Suspension, we got liquid spring normal, liquid spring sport, and liquid spring tow and haul. Now, this will let you tow and haul. Obviously, it's got active lift, and it's made for hauling. I like the sport because it's got active lift as well, but it's going to kind of do the best of everything in between. For tires, off-road, we have vanilla-ish Goodyear G275 MSA, Michelin XCL, Goodyear MVT, and then we rotate from vanilla-ish to stockish to redline and cheater. And we go into chained, we have 45 vanilla-ish Continental MPT 81 in vanilla, stockish, redline, and cheater. I think we did the Goodyear MVT last time. I want to try the Michelin XCL because this is a nice looking tire, but we're going to go with the Redline spec. Winch, we got Trail Runner 12 volt, vanilla 12 volt, and vanilla non 12 volt. We're going to go with the the Trail Runner 12 volt, that's by default. Bumpers, we got Buck Stop Front Bumper Elevation Edition by default. We've got the front bumper Redline rock guards, and we've got the Baja Designs rock guards. We're going to go with the Baja Designs. Or we could switch to the front bumper Outback, which actually, that is what I'm going to switch to. We're going to tune this one up a little bit differently. And for the rear bumper, we have the Elevation Edition, or we have stock. We're going to keep the Elevation Edition because for some reason there's not a rear bumper Outback Edition. We got the license plate as well. Off-road accessories, we got red, white, and blue emergency lights, yellow, red, white, and emergency lights, cold air intake, which I'm assuming is, well, it's hidden obviously, but it's not compatible with the fender-mounted snorkel. So with this installed, you also can't see the spinning turbo turbines. It's a cosmetic realism add-on, open and remove hood to see on engine. Gotcha. That is cool. I never even read that before. So if you take the hood off, you'll be able to see this actually. We got the liquid spring suspension control panel, plain earth dash mounted radar, repair parts, Baja light pods, let's add those in. Gravity LED light bar, we're not going to cover it up this time though. We're going to take the rock sliders. We are going to take the fender mounted snorkel instead of the cold air intake. And tow and haul, we got active tow chassis weight, D-ring shackle, gooseneck hitch, Gen Y Mega Duty drop hitch, Gen Y Mega Duty shorty hitch, and then receiver and gooseneck if you wanted to have the flatbed. So this is the off-grid edition, so I'm going to tune this one a little bit differently, and I think we're going to take this for now. We'll see. Roof, we got panoramic roof exterior body by default, and we could switch to interior headliner. Emblem, we got the stock position, or we got position above the decal. That's a Ford Limited Package Grill XLT. I like the Limited. The Limited is nice, but the Lariat is also nice. That's what we got now. Let's go with the XLT. Or sorry, the Limited. Oh, the Honeycomb's nice. Let's go with the XLT. I can't make up my mind. There's too many options here. That's the XLT package. Non-branded, I'm assuming. And then we get the hood Super Duty or normal hood. Exhaust, we got light smoke. Bed add-ons, this is where it gets good. We got to choose the bed configuration. So here's an overland bed, or we could have the flat bed, but I like the overland edition. We can add the emblems. Add some cabinets for the flat bed if we wanted it. All right, bed add-ons. Now we can add some diesel in here. Diesel fuel container. We got a lot of them. Hijack lift. High lift mount. Spare tire. We got bone bed driver side. So, oh, okay, I get it. The spare tire is kind of hidden, so to speak. That makes perfect sense. Add a traction board there instead. Or we can add it there. But I think this will clash with something, yeah. But do we need a spare tire? I don't feel like we need it, but I guess it doesn't hurt. I like it standing. That's actually kind of cool. And it doesn't take up as much room. Let's actually see real quick, though, if there's any traction boards we can add in that aren't going to conflict with something we have. Yeah, okay. Don't need any damage control. We got the Buckstop Forge Aluminum, Stasworks 10-spoke, and Mod 10-spoke. We're going to go with the Stasworks 10-spoke, the bronze version. And we got the police. We got the elevation off-road, white. We got all kinds of different options here. I like this blue. This blue or this blue? There's just way too many options here, to be honest with you. There's a blue. Alright, let's pull it out, see what it can do. Alright, let's start this bad boy up. So, same thing, interior is really well done. There's not really anything different interior-wise. Now, we did choose to go with some different options. So, we got the bed garage door storage, which folds out here, and that looks incredible. And we've got the bed tailgate. If we want to fold that down at any point, we can. And we've got the active suspension, so we're going to lift that up. Now the hood, if you read through the descriptions, it tells you if you can see the turbo spooling, and when you have this snorkel you can't, but if you don't have this or the cold air intake, it looks like you can see them spool, which is pretty cool. So we're going to put down the hood, we're going to open these windows, let's get them cracked open, and let's open the sunroof, just like that. And that is slick, that is really, really smooth. Now we have this spec'd out differently. We are going to see what we could do with two-wheel drive starting out. And that's all we got for two-wheel drive. We'll put it in four-wheel drive, and we're in automatic. Put it in a low or low plus if we have to. This is performing really, really well. Let's fast forward to night here and take a look at these lights. Show you some of the lighting details that are with this truck. So that's with everything. Pod lights, everything. This is, let's scooch out here a little bit too if we can so we can see the tail lights. I didn't think before I bury this, maybe that would have been a good time to do it. Alright, we got to winch a little bit. And we're just clearing this land for free at this point. Now this winch does pretty good. So you can see the taillights there. Reverse pods are nice. They illuminate quite a bit. And when you're looking ahead, so it turns off the front pods, or they dim when you put it in reverse, and then they get brighter. So that's interesting, but it gives you quite a lot of visibility. So that's encouraging to see. But now we might be stuck, possibly. Let's winch again a little bit. It's funny how SnowRunner physics work. Once it catches the, like, if you're winching off a tree branch and it catches, you're golden. It doesn't matter if it just catches on the tiniest rock. So in low, we're doing pretty good, which is an Overland Edition truck. You know, this has got some weight to it in one aspect. It still is a Super Duty. It still is an F550. This is cruising pretty good when you think about it. And it went decent as far as we did in automatic. But once you stop, that's when you start to have some problems. In low plus, you can see it's kind of like pulling and pushing as it needs to get through these huge ruts and this mud. The engine sounds are incredible on this. Absolutely love the way the engine sounds are in this. So let's see. We gotta inch up to this slowly. And now, I just want to show you something. So if you end up where you end up bottoming out here, right? And you need to, if you go and change your suspension, sometimes it'll just nudge you a little bit to bridge that gap for you. And if it does, it might just give you the traction you need. If you're in four-wheel drive, you got your diff lock on to pull yourself through it. So love the suspension play and movement on this. This is nice and soft. This is SnowRunner edition. This is Overland style, right? And this just looks really badass when it pulls through this. When you really think about how this is doing, this looks really badass. That's an incredible shot there. Redline Creations really kind of takes almost any truck you can think of and any concept you can think of, and they just make it epic. The attention to detail that John puts into these, absolutely epic. Now I do want to go grab a trailer for the next part. Well, actually, we'll drive around like we usually do. And then we'll see about grabbing a trailer. I have a curious mind. I love the engine sounds in this. It's smooth. The pitch and tone's decent. It's nothing too crazy, nothing too... It's not underpowered, but it's not overpowered. There's a lot of trucks that come out that are just really overpowered, I find. Let's put in a high gear. And that high gear is actually smooth. That's not too much speed at all. So, interesting enough, I'm finding this is crawling a lot better than the other version. Maybe it's just a setup that we have, but yeah, this crawled through this no problem. The other one, you didn't have much problem either, but there was a couple of initial hurdles there, for sure. Is there a trailer store? I do not know. Let's see. There's a garage. There's a fuel station. Now, I know I could use the mod tools, grab one, but I'm not going to bother. I don't like using the mod tools unless I have to. is the Overland Edition. This is stuff that you realistically have to expect to probably go over. And see, we're hung up here. Now let's try my concept with changing the suspension mode. That actually, it didn't help. We're completely hung up here. Huh. Sometimes when you shift it, this is quite interesting. I don't even know what you say to this. We're wiggling back. We're really doing it. Yep, we did it. All right, we gotta hit this in angle. I'm gonna show you another trick here. If you got a long wheelbase like this and you don't want to bottom out, you gotta crisscross, and that's it. I don't do it unless I know I have to, so luckily SnowRunner can be forgiving sometimes, and SnowRunner physics, as much as they punish us, they also help us quite often. Seem to be doing pretty good. We haven't taken any damage yet, which is quite incredible when you think about the wheelbase on this beast. I mean, we got some dented. We got the back of the overland bed is dented a little bit, but that's to be expected. We got a little dent in the door there, but nothing that's going to stop our travel. That's for sure. And Remo, he did so good with this map because we get to test all these different things that you have to think about in SnowRunner, and seeing these trucks being used might help give an idea of whether this is something you want to bother downloading. Especially for console players, you got limited space as it is, and sometimes it's taxing on your system, certain mods. So this will help give you a really good idea. Alright, we got to winch a little bit. There we go. It's the first, well, second time we had to winch, but first time in these rocks. I don't know what it is, we keep starting to spin. We got decent traction, I think, overall for what this is, but we just get that odd rock and it's a slippery slope, no pun intended. Put it in a low because this is getting pretty soupy. This is yeah, quite the challenge in its own. Made it down without getting stuck or, you know, slipping into a rut. We'll keep on going through this journey because we've made it this far. As an Overland Edition truck, you know, we gotta be able to make it a little bit further. The other F550 did pretty phenomenal, but you can definitely tell a difference with the off-grid edition. So with the other F550, we did need to use the winch, but to get up this. But we didn't need to use it with this Overland edition, which is great. You'll love to see it. Now we're struggling with this. The attention to detail here. I know I probably shouldn't be in high, but I just thought maybe that's all we need. I'm determined to get this. Let's oh, and we rolled. Alright guys, this is where we're gonna call it. You know what to do. Drop a like on the video, drop a sub on the channel if you want to check this out. It's the same mod download link as F550, the other one, but I'm going to put it in the description anyways, and it gives you both editions that you can choose from. We'll catch you with the next one.